Well, from nature and museums to biking and cuisine, this roundup will help you mark off those spots you've had on your bucket list, your Hoosier bucket list, maybe for years, all for $10 or less. All of these activities keep social distancing in mind, and I'm pleased to welcome back to the show, as always, Yelp Midwest Regional Director Brittany Smith, with more on the fun and affordable Hoosier adventures. Brittany, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
Absolutely. Okay, let's get right to it. You always put together a great statewide snapshot with each of these segments, and there's so much to talk about in this one. We begin Northwest Indiana, 15 miles of Lake Michigan shoreline at the Indiana Dunes National Park, the state's first and really only national park, right?
Yeah, there's so many adventures that we can have close to home and that are budget friendly, and this is a great example of it. The Dunes Park has 50 miles of trails for hikers. You can make your way through the rugged dunes, the wetlands, the rivers, and then if you happen to be visiting on the weekend, you can actually pick up a picnic right there in Chesterton at their European market and make a whole day of it. Great.
Big economic impact to be sure in Northwest Indiana. And keeping with that theme of being outside and getting exercise, fresh air, you can bike, in this in particular, a trail in Shipshewana.
Yeah, this is a completely free activity. The Pumpkin Vine Nature Trail, it weaves through all the Amish country, Shipshewana, Goshen, Middlebury, all through the countryside. 17 miles of partially paved trails. They've got mile markers along the way. It's a great way to get outside with the family, and it's all for $0.
Coming back now into Indianapolis, and Progressive Treats tour of the International Marketplace here in Indy. That's out at the old kind of Lafayette Square area, and I think one of the better kept secrets because there are so many international cuisine restaurants out there.
I couldn't agree more. Food and Wine and New York Times have both written pieces on this neighborhood, so it's a great time to get our locals to actually explore it as well. I actually just did a few weeks ago a self-guided street food tour of the neighborhood. You've got Delicious Jalisco, a great business for mangonadas. You can go to the Sagrada International grocery store that you can be checking out all the wonderful produce. They've got dim sum there. We even have Mexican bakeries. There are so many amazing businesses, 70 different languages spoken in that area. It's really like taking an international trip right in your backyard.
Yeah, very cool. All right, let's go down to Columbus now, and I think everyone knows that not only here in Indiana, but really all over the country, the architecture and design is part of what Columbus's DNA is all about, and you can really check that out at the Visitor Center there and beyond.
Yeah, the Columbus Visitor Center has made it really easy for people to visit any time of day for free and to do their self-guided architecture tour on your phone. There are over 70 buildings and public art pieces throughout there. Even Dale Chihuly, international artists like that, are represented in Columbus, and it's not too far away, and you can do it anytime.
All right, beyond architecture, you can really dig into Hoosier history as well. You've got a couple spots for stops that can give you a real Hoosier history flavor, right?
Yeah, now's a good time to mark off those museums and attractions like New Harmony, the Labyrinth. It's a great time to get outside, just meditation. You can find it there in their space, or you can go to Fountain City in Northeast Indiana. They have the Levi and Catherine Coffin House you can visit, also known as the Grand Central Station of the Underground Railroad. And they have reduced hours right now, and they've got social distancing in mind. So now's a good time to visit it and still check out those museums.
Brittany Smith, as always, great perspective on so many of the neat things going on around the state of Indiana, and in this case, affordable trips that you can take during the pandemic as well. Thanks as always, Britt. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for having me, Gary.
All right.